What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 340 of Opinions May Vary. I'm your host, Jared. My co-host with me, Alex.
Hello.
Joining us this week is someone who I had the pleasure of seeing a week ago. So this is 2 weeks in a row. And the reason this person is on, I almost addressed you as like, the reason you're on today is because of the thing that happened last week. We went and saw a movie. And we're really just here to talk about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker news. So, Jared, thank you so much for coming on.
Glad to be here.
Of course, it's Jared Skolnick of Skolnick Films.
Glad to be here. Two in a row is really my limit.
Yeah, I get that a lot, but no one ever really explains what it means, though.
Yo, try doing 340 in a row.
In a row.
That's the real struggle.
I salute you.
It's true. In a row. So, what's your guys' take on the Joaquin Phoenix? That's how you say it, right? Joaquin?
Joker.
God damn it.
Does no one come up with that yet?
If no one has, man, that's you got to trademark that.
Yeah, the Joker pictures.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not.
We're not talking about that at all.
If you've heard about it or seen a picture of it, you've already seen every argument and heard every pro and every con, and we're done now. So that's the end of that, right? We're good.
No more discussion until opening day.
It's like in this area when we're in New England and like summer hit, and I got in my car after work and like the morning radio people were talking, and they were talking for like a straight minute of, well, I know it's hotter in other states, but like it's hot here, but it's not as hot, but we got the humidity, and like they're just talking over each other. Because like Arizona's hot, but the humidity is not there, and like they're just talking. It's like we're breathing just an ocean because it's so humid, and your hair messes up, and it just feels you're sweating everywhere. And then they stop and they go, "Okay, your entire conversations for the rest of the day, you just had them. That was it. You just had every conversation with the weather. You just heard it. You don't have to have it anymore. You don't have to deal with it. You're done. It's easy. We're good to go.
It's unbelievable. Oh, go ahead.
It's like someone pinched the conversation hose and then let it go.
Yep.
And so now it's all just out there at once.
And it's incredibly accurate too. I work in an office environment.
Mm-hmm.
The literal definition of an office. Mm-hmm. I have a cubicle with my name on it, and there are many other people who have their own cubicles.
Right.
And every single day it's the weather.
Yeah.
The traffic.
Right.
Nowadays it's the Big E. The Big E is a giant feast and festival that lasts 2 weeks?
Yeah,
3 weeks-ish?
Like two and a half, I think.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks-ish in New England, celebrating New England for being New England. And
think of your county fair.
Yeah.
But it's combining like 5 states.
Gargantuan.
Yeah.
Gargantuan. Yeah. It's hard to shit on the Big E, despite the fact that I haven't been there in 10 years.
I mean, you can because there's a lot of food there. But...
It's true. You can shit everywhere.
Right.
And there's livestock there, and they do a lot of shit.
They do a lot of it.
Yeah.
The Clydesdales.
Who's going to know?
The Clydesdales.
The difference
between human and horse. When you eat that much food, it blurs the line.
Just blame the Clydesdales. Or...
But yes, the conversations grow stagnant and repetitive, and it's unbelievable how quickly you can just fall into it. Because I'll go into work and be like, man, thank God it's raining. My lawn needed it. And then I hate myself for the rest of the day.
My lawn needed it.
How about that local sports team?
Yep.
Did you see what our first selectman said?
It's the casino's opening. That was a big one. That was a big one recently. Yeah. The casino. Oh, you're going to the casino?
Maybe I'll go.
I tried to go, but it was just so busy.
I don't want to spend too much money.
It's pretty depressing, I gotta say. But we are here to talk about other fun ? Things. So last week, Colin hit up a couple people. I was like, "Yo, let's go see a movie." They're like, "What movie is this?" And I had seen promo pictures of this movie. I just didn't know it was a big deal because the promo pictures had a lot of Nicolas Cage everywhere. I was like, Nicolas Cage does a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. This could be anything. I'm a fan of Nicolas Cage. Mm-hmm. I grew up with Nicolas. I'm a lifetime apologist of Gone in 60 Seconds. I will forever love that movie and not deny its greatness.
My favorite part about Gone in 60 Seconds was how Angelina Jolie was like second build character, and she's in like 10 minutes of the movie.
It's true. But she steals the Ferraris. She helps with the Ferraris. She knows the Ferraris. She has a little computer thing that helps you steal Ferraris.
Sure. Okay.
So we go to a theater that I'd never been to up in Amherst.
You've never been there.
I didn't say the H. Joe and
Oh, yeah,
Ken
you're not supposed to.
ripped me apart
Yeah.
for saying Amherst on the way.
Yeah, that
I dated a girl who lived in the area and went to school there, and my response was to say, for forever, since then, has been to say the town next to Amherst is Adley or North Adley.
Yep.
And then I go, what? I'm not saying the A. It's Hadley, but like this is my getting back. What? I'm not saying the H. I'm doing it right. Yeah.
I probably stayed fresh with her for a while too. Guarantee that never got old.
it's yeah, Amherst right next to Adley and Northampton.
Northampton.
Anton.
Yep.
Northampton, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
you've never been there before.
I had never been there, and it was so quaint.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice theater.
It's a neat little mall too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice area because Joe knew of a pizza place because we got there a little bit early. Joe knew a pizza place around the corner that sells by the slice. There were flies on the pizza.
Did you see the gaming store there?
No.
The only reason I know them all is because I'm a geek and went to play HeroClix there many times.
No one's here to judge you.
It's
I might.
But this is how I find new locations. Is 'cause
Right.
I went to go play HeroClix at them.
But it was a rad area. The only time I'd ever really been to Amherst was to either go to my brother's graduation because he went to college, and I saw Green Day in Amherst once. That's my fun story. But we went to see there's a theater that do they play a lot of indie stuff? It seemed like they do from all the previews we saw.
It's
Yeah.
almost entirely indie films.
Right. So
Well, like, what did I saw Scott Pilgrim there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because at the time, because when it came out, which was, I forget how many years ago now.
It was during the first run?
Yeah.
Crazy.
damn.
And I went with girlfriend at the time, and who was the stunt guy?
Lucas Lee,
Lucas Lee. So Lucas Lee's up
Chris Evans,
doing
Captain
the thing,
America.
and I nudge her and I go, that dude's gonna be Captain America. And she's like, how's that gonna work out? She's like, is that good? I'm like, we'll see.
Turns out it's incredible. It's literally the perfect cast.
Years ago, I couldn't make it for some reason, but I think our group was gonna go to that theater because they were gonna show Troll 2,
Yes.
which is one of the worst movies ever. But it's
In a
one,
good way.
It's one of the best ones because you go it's one that you can rip on.
Yeah.
In pre-show, we mentioned the Fantastic Four movie that came out, and I went to see it with the intent of like being able to talk shit about it and make fun of it, and I couldn't because it was so bad. Whereas Troll 2, like, people know the lines that are bad, and it's almost like fun doing a callback to watch it in a real theater.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, here comes the part where the kid pisses on the dinner table.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I saw The Room there a couple of years ago too.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. Like you have people throwing spoons at the screen. You got people yelling every quote.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
It was a neat theater. Never been there before.
Mhm.
It was nice and big. The seats weren't too close. Comfortable atmosphere.
Mhm.
They had like a little stage. Apparently people like present and they get like famous people to show their movies and stuff there.
Yeah.
From what
Sometimes they'll have filmmakers come in to introduce their film, do a Q&A. It's really nice.
It was cool. And we've built this up for 8.5 minutes now. For anyone who hasn't turned this off in frustration or due to lack of caring, we went to see Mandy.
The Predator.
We went to see The Predator, starring Carl Weathers and the wrestler guy, Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Good film.
He ain't got time to bleed, I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he bled a lot.
Some guy who became like a politician later.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he wasn't in it that long, actually. He got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he complained too much. Fun fact, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the original Predator.
He was too tall.
I also heard he hated it.
No, it's the opposite. He was
No,
too
he
short.
was
Oh.
too short.
Okay.
He might have hated it too, yeah.
And his costume was like a big orange like leotard
I
that
mean,
just covered his head too, and it just didn't work on camera
Weird.
oh well,
for some reason.
lost opportunities. Maybe Jean-Claude will get his big break soon.
Someday.
But we went to see Mandy, the new Nicolas Cage film. it was presented to us by Colin in a manner of, it was like a contest to see who knew less about it. Because it was, hey, have you heard of the way he prefaced it was, have you heard of this movie, Mandy? Without Googling it, have you heard of this movie? And I said, no, I can't say I have.
So
He's
you
like,
win.
I mean, I think we all kind of won in the end, or maybe lost. So, and like, he's like, hey, I'm getting a couple people together. Like, you know, our friend Ken's going. And like, he was like adamant that Ken know nothing about this as well.
Okay.
He's like, I stress that the only thing Ken knows is that it's a movie and Nicolas Cage is in it.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty much all we knew.
Right.
Like, Joe came with us. We ran into Jared and Bob and a lot of many friends. And we all watched the movie together. And we had an experience. We shared a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to talk about it because I've had a lot of thoughts in my thinking meets.
Uh-huh.
And I think mine are different than others.
Okay.
Because I might need your help with this, Jared.
Yes, I'm intrigued to hear your
because
thoughts.
I don't know if I got it.
Interesting.
Because
So first of all, you're assuming there's something to get.
yeah,
from this.
that's probably my problem. Because this movie is like rave reviews. Like it's great. I mean, who knows about the credibility of Rotten Tomatoes these days, but it has like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It got a 5-minute standing ovation at Cannes. Is that how a New Englander says it? Cannes.
Cans.
Can.
It had a 5-minute standing ovation. People love this movie. Holy shit, Nicolas Cage is back. Did he ever leave?
He didn't.
He
had a
never left.
string of
He's
just...
been making a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
He never left our hearts.
Name the last
People pay him. to do
time you
stuff.
saw a Nicolas Cage movie, you're like, that was great.
Oh.
And this is not a... Like I said, I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. But like the last couple I saw, Knowing, Next, Bangkok Dangerous, I think National Treasure 2 maybe?
Yeah.
And even that was like, nah.
I don't use the term great very often.
It's true. It's true. Your scale is a lot more harsh than mine. But we saw Mandy, and everyone seemed to have a very good time.
Mhm.
Everyone was loving it. Clapping. There was much clapping being had in the theater.
Okay.
I would say so, yeah. They're not just at the end of the movie, but during like very high points, kind of like fuck yeah moments. Like people were, getting up and cheering, like hooting and hollering for it.
What's been weird is that I wasn't part of the party. I didn't go see it. I was busy doing other
For the
stuff.
record, Alex was invited. He was busy.
I was by two people. By
I just didn't
both-
want you to feel left out.
No, it's okay. Yeah. By both parties here. I was invited by two
We're
different
not
groups.
terrible people.
No one wanted me to go. No, I just couldn't. I had stuff I was doing.
Because you're on your string.
But
How many days in a row are you about to work?
37.
In a row.
Yeah.
Wait, that lines up so perfectly with Clerks.
I had to check when my vacation time off is, because one job I get a vacation, then I still have to do the other jobs.
Right.
I have been seeing clips because either at some points like friends are posting about it, but not a lot, not giving much away. But then someone will post like, they'll have recorded, a minute scene in the theater. And so I've seen some of those. That's where I saw a particular goblin and a bathroom scene.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the two most
The two
famous.
main. Yep.
Yeah. And it's not like a movie that you can really spoil. Like you can tell the whole story in maybe 2 sentences.
I was going to say, like, by the way, potential spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yes, there's going to be spoilers. If you have not seen Mandy and you plan on seeing Mandy, go see it, then come back.
And a completely wrong note, like I'm going to make a comparison, but it's not equivalent. It's when a friend and I would talk about the Jackass films. And it's like, so they go to do this stunt. I don't want to ruin it for you. And my friend goes, no, let me have it, because when I see it, like, it doesn't matter what you explain to me. Seeing it is still going to be amazing.
Yeah, you can't like ruin a pratfall or anything like that.
It's kind of a, I don't want to say generic plot, but it's men and women in their remote cabin are stumbled upon by cultists.
Mm-hmm.
The cultists kidnap woman.
Mm-hmm.
They ultimately end up, again, spoilers, they end up killing her.
Mm-hmm.
The man gets very angry and exacts his revenge.
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
Revenge.
That's
Yeah.
Mandy. Yep.
And the cult dude was Mandy, right? That his name was.
Yes, his name was Mandy, short for mandolin.
As in Captain Corelli's mandolin.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
the Cage universe at all.
He was the one who
ties
originally
together.
stole the Declaration of Independence
Oh,
and
right.
hid it in Alcatraz.
in a baby, and that's why they stole it in Raising Arizona.
in a safe covered by bees.
And the thing is, the faces of the bees were actually wasps. They were swapped.
Oh, okay. Did you
Yep.
have to take one off?
Yeah, you had to take the face off.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And
And then
in the dead of night, where everything was moonstruck.
I don't know if you named one of the ones I was gonna. So I guess
Con
his dad
Air
owns
was
a
also
strip
a
joint,
movie.
and he's bench pressing a stripper at one point for some reason. I don't know what movie that was.
I don't remember.
So, Mandy, the only promotional shot I had seen from this is the one of his face where he's all bloody.
Mhm.
Not the one at the end that everyone's been making their banner picture on Facebook.
Right.
Everyone
It
has
is-
been making their banner picture of that on Facebook.
It's an iconic shot.
There's
It
more
is.
than one image of his bloody face.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. One of them is pretty brilliant. The other one is just kind of a generic bloody face.
Okay.
Jared, you went so far as to say that Mandy was the greatest film ever made. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, I said that in a state of euphoria.
Little hyperbole, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, of course. I've been known to dabble in hyperbole.
Oh,
I may
you
have said The
dabble.
Rock is the greatest movie ever made many, many times.
In fact, a little while ago, I said Face Off was the greatest movie ever made.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
I'm no, not in any sense of the word.
Why does he get rid of the scar at the end? Oh, hey, I have my arch nemesis kid now. I don't need to remember my dead kid. Get rid of the scar. I'm done with him.
My White Wolf, the Masquerade role playing game character, had twin pistols that he would
course.
tuck in his back, just like in the
Just like
movie.
Castor Troy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because those were the coolest things.
They were the cool. They still are the coolest things. Oh, let's just kill each other. Love Face Off, but Mandy. So Mandy was tough for me because I am used to generic Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm used to pleasing things on the eye, and
You didn't find this pleasing to the eye.
I found it harsh. I found it aggressive,
It is very much that.
and like a lot of people are very fond of the score.
Mhm.
And the way I think my main problem is I'm not used to films like that. A lot of people were saying, what's the word that they're not, that's not pulp. It's
Grindhouse.
no.
Kind of. It's like almost like art house pulp
Right.
Okay.
in a way, because it looks like visually the movie looks like something that you could spray on the side of some guy's van, but it also has like this really hypnotic tone to it, like
Uh-huh.
the music and like how long the shots will last.
They hang.
They hang.
And to
Yeah.
the point where I'm like, oh God, a jump scare's coming. Because that's what typical Hollywood has conditioned me into.
Right.
Because on the main female lead's face,
Andrea Riseborough.
yes, playing Mandy, there are some shots where they just hold on her face for 30 seconds. And I'm like, something's about to happen and I'm going to shit my pants.
Right.
And no, it just goes to the next shot. It was just a long shot of her face.
It almost feels like you're kind of being put into a trance,
Right.
like she is in that scene.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I mean, obviously, do you think shots like that are designed to make the viewer uncomfortable, or is that just my own, not ambivalence, my own amateur?
No, they're definitely designed that way.
Mhm.
Because there are ways you can induce that state. You can have a lot of very jittery, very fast cutting, or you can do what Mandy did, which you can hold for a while, and kind of in a way it's like having someone stare at you for a long time. It just puts you in an uneasy position, but you can't look away.
It's not like you can look away from a movie.
I mean, you can, but where else? You're in a theater. Where else are you gonna look?
Yeah.
Right. And that
I found ways during it. I found brilliant ways to not look at the screen while I watched it last summer. Anyways,
but yeah, that feels like the purpose to me. Like it's putting you in this sort of like trance-like state in order to make the violence that more jarring. That's what I feel like.
Right.
And it feels like a movie that's kind of broken in two. Like there's everything that comes before Mandy's killed and everything after.
Mm-hmm.
And everything before is like a little bit more slow burn. Like you're being introduced into this cult, you're learning about the characters, you're kind of just observing them in their lives. And then after, it's just, balls to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Metal album cover. Revenge. It's still a little methodical, but it definitely like moves a bit faster.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie was a lot of like development in kind of not very typical ways. And again, I'm relating this all to the fact that I watch typical Hollywood. I watch Age of Ultron, where they tell you exactly what's going on and why this is happening.
Yelling exposition.
Yes, exactly. Ultron is in a new body now because he's even stronger and he's upgraded.
He's gonna make it out of vibranium.
Exactly. Whereas this one, like, just them laying on the couch watching that movie, and she's telling the story about how like they had to take turns killing baby birds,
right?
And like, it doesn't deal with like it was like the main thing, like kind of setting up the characters, but not in a this is what's this character is about type of way. It wasn't like jamming it down your throat. It's like we're showing their relationship, which was it made it all that more brutal when it comes down to the part where Mandy is ultimately killed. I'm like, oh, she's not dead. That's not her, because it was very Jason-esque. She's in a sleeping bag, and they string her up and they set her on fire.
Oh.
And I'm like, she's not. It's someone else. It's like a straggler or one of the cultists who something. There's no way they killed her.
Right.
They didn't just kill her.
But they did.
Yeah, you see her skull just dissolve into dust.
It's very Thanos.
Very Thanos. Yeah. Yep. Jeremiah. He did the snap, and then the main villain was named Jeremiah. By the way.
Try and catch up, I watched Red Letter Media did a review of one of their particular reviews, and they had also said like, yep, it's like almost like two different films. You've got the stuff that happens before and what happens after, and it's like a different guy took over. Might as well be two different directors.
It's intense, and like I said, I struggle with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe it's because the movie made me uncomfortable, because it also put me in a position of how would I react to that if I saw the love of my life get burned alive by cultists, and then they just bail and leave me to die.
Would you fire up your blacksmith's forge?
I would certainly try to.
I think that's what's so kind of alienating about it, because like it takes this extreme situation, which in like any other Hollywood movie, it's just like a pretext for the action. It's like, oh, they killed my wife. Time to fuck up some bad guys.
Oh yeah, like this. So how long did this take?
The actual like killing,
like from the beginning of the movie to her dying, and he's gonna get revenge.
I think it's like the clean halfway point.
Yeah.
So like a solid hour in at least.
I think so. Yeah.
At least maybe like an hour and 15.
So like, there'd be other movies where it's like that's first 10 minutes.
Right.
we gotta kill this person quick. You gotta start getting your revenge. The revenge part's got to be 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's a 2 hour and 5 minute movie.
And this one, and that's what's so strange about it, because it takes that seriously. Like you're gonna feel that, and you're gonna be like on this mission from hell with him the whole time, and just like I hope not too many people have ever had to deal with that in their life. So
and that brings us. There's the scene that a lot of people are talking about, where he's in the bathroom, and he's very upset, and it's like the first time, because up until then, Cage is very subdued. He's just kind of talking in mumbles, nothing really crazy's been happening. Everyone knows, Nicolas Cage is crazy. And Ghost Rider, he yelled a lot, and everyone has seen that the priest, he painted his face,
Yeah.
and he goes full Cage and starts going nuts in the bathroom. He grabs a giant bottle of alcohol,
tequila or something.
Yeah.
vodka,
Something strong.
I don't know, alcohol, and he starts chugging it, and apparently that hurts when you do that, when you drink really strong alcohol.
Well, some of it burns apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on his wounds because he has a lot of wounds because he was tied up with barbed wire and stuff, and he was stabbed. Remember when he was stabbed?
He was stabbed.
And everyone's laughing, having a great time in the theater. And I was just sitting there stone faced, and some people gave me shit for it, Jeremy clearly did not get the movie. What was going on? And
wait, so it's a point where he's actually expressing his trauma
yeah,
while trying to cure it while his wounds are burning.
yeah,
Yeah.
And people are like, ah.
He's chugging it and screaming like an injured animal.
This is one scene that I did catch,
Yep.
just to brief this.
in his underwear, by the way. He's in, he's in a 3/4 baseball tee and his tighty whities, and that's it.
And he's just howling on the toilet while
Yeah.
he's drinking.
Yep.
And that to me, it just shows how brave an actor Nicolas Cage is.
Mm-hmm.
You had posted about it, about how he's willing to go there,
Yeah.
and not many directors will realize that.
He's willing to make such an extreme moment like that look ridiculous because what is the appropriate way to handle that? Are you gonna? Is there
are you gonna be really solemn and with one tear down your face and just tough it out?
Is there a tasteful way to do that?
And,
oh no, I'm going too far. Shit.
That's why I'm sitting there stone faced watching it, because I'm sitting there thinking, what would I do in that position?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How would I react? I'd be a mess. Yeah, I get that. The scene was over the top, and say what you will about it, but and everyone is cracking up, and I'm just I don't think I would do much better.
Yeah. It's funny until it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing that almost got me to crack was when he's yelling and yelling and yelling, and then it just gets silent, and you just hear him chug, because there's no music. It's just yelling, and then it's just, hold on, I gotta chug this. That's just the vibe it came. But
because the whole movie, before and after that, it has this very kind of droning score.
It's synth vibe.
Yeah. And it's just omnipresent. It's nonstop. But that's the only scene where it's not there. It just plays out straight.
Is it like a Hotline Miami?
It's more kind of Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very,
Gotcha.
very 80s.
But it's aggressive.
Right.
There were times where it was making me uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah, I have that Pandora channel, and I made the mistake of playing it at the gym one time. That didn't work out too well. I thought the repetitiveness would help. No. The reviewer guys that I watched were talking about that scene, and how there's a chance that the director camera guy didn't know what Cage was going to be doing. And as they're filming, it's there's a point where the camera goes to zoom in and then kind of stops and backs away again, as if they're kind of worried of getting too. Let's go in some more. And so even the frame that you're viewing it from is changing for different reasons that you're not really sure of.
Yeah, it's the one scene where the aesthetic kind of breaks. I don't know how many takes they planned for it. Maybe they just had that one and he's just spent.
One and done, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that takes a lot out of you.
It's all right, we're gonna do our 19th take. So if makeup, could you get back in there and put some more blood on him? They're nah, man, I'm not getting there.
Do we have to do this take with real alcohol?
Oh man,
we're on our 25th bottle.
And he's not even drunk.
It's the 5th take. What's going on, you guys?
But it was uncomfortable to say the least.
Yeah.
And I get why people could think it was funny.
Yeah.
But I also see that that's probably about right. If I had to guess what my reaction would be like if my lover was murdered brutally.
How
in an
was that
unpleasant way.
compared to What's in the Box?
From 7? Oh.
Yeah.
From 7.
So like Brad Pitt's like gonna kill the guy, and he's kind of weeping, and like and then he's got it's
Serious face.
like the matter of like how many times he points the gun and then like turns away and then points the gun again and then like
Yeah.
weeps and then points the gun again and like has to like steal up and then like can't do it.
It's different, I'd say. I don't know if I would compare one to the other, because 7 kind of has like that element of suspense where you don't know what's in the box until you do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more of a shock. But Mandy is just like
But like
you've been sitting there the whole time.
If
watching.
you were Brad Pitt, like
Yeah.
would you have that choice in your head, or like would you be back and forth like what do I do?
I don't know if I would be dwelling on it for that long. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
But yeah, they're equally harrowing to think about. I don't know. That's a good question. Because Mandy's like a little bit more like heightened reality.
Right.
And 7 is like you're down in the dirt with Brad Pitt. That's a tough choice.
And it's like the Brad Pitt's like that's a twist. Like,
Yeah.
that's just like, wait, what? How? Whereas like with Mandy, it's like, oh, this is happening.
Right.
How is he gonna? He's gonna get out of this one, right? He's gonna break free and kill them all.
Oh, he didn't.
Nope,
Shit.
they're just burning.
He's just watching. Shit.
Yep. God, that barbed wire look uncomfortable. Like in
Yeah.
his mouth. Oh God.
I'm sure it was fake. Hope it was fake.
Maybe.
Method actor.
Guess we'll never know.
Making movies.
So yeah, then he goes on his rampage.
Mhm.
He finds a forge. And that's also a thing that like I struggled with a little bit, is because it kind of jumps, to the unbelievable in a way. It's like, oh, he's okay, so he's in a forge now, and he has his mold and he's making his axe. He knows how to do this, obviously, and he has the resources to do it, and he has the time to do it.
One of the things that gets referenced is how they're like, it's a heavy metal movie.
Yeah.
She's wearing metal t-shirts.
Yep.
And
She's
even
reading like sci-fi books.
Yeah.
There are demon bikers
Yeah.
summoned from hell.
And then he's got a giant battle axe.
Yeah, why not?
It's just any heavy metal cover. There it is.
It also features
Yeah.
Bill Duke, which I feel like warrants a discussion,
It does.
because we were talking about Predator earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Duke he was in Predator.
Mhm.
He was the guy with the razor.
Who's shaving?
He says anytime, and then it says it over and over and over again. Anyways, he was in Predator, and he was also in Mandy. In like pretty much the only backstory that you get throughout the entirety of the movie, he kind of gives you the 411 on the demon people,
Right.
who were just essentially just drug dealers who took really bad LSD. Is that what I got from it?
Put on some spikes and rode into the
And
night.
they're really wet.
That's all it takes?
Yeah.
They're so wet. Why are they so wet all the time?
Are they
Do
sweating?
you want to know?
It might be the LSD.
I mean, isn't getting wet a term for taking LSD?
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't know you like to
don't
get
know.
wet. You ever see Training Day? So yeah, we get like our
There's a lot I didn't understand in training.
we get our backstory from Bill Duke, who was, aside from Nicolas Cage, the only person I recognize in the movie. Although Linus, the man who played Jeremiah, was in Chronicles of Riddick, one of the greatest films in cinema. I think we can all agree on that.
For a long time, Chronicles of Riddick, the video game, was the best
Adaptation
game out of like for years.
besides Goldeneye.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
I mean,
was GoldenEye based on? We were just the same name.
It's based on the
no, it
movie.
was based on the movie.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that they made up, but it
Right.
follows the premise of the movie.
Yeah. Isn't Pierce Brosnan on the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
That's true.
the faces are it's supposed to look like Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
Like,
it's
it's a very square Pierce Brosnan.
there was a good chunk of years where like Chronicles of Riddick was the best video game based on a movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because every other movie video game that came out was absolutely dog shit.
Trash.
And Vin Diesel's very invested in video games, I've heard.
He's invested, like, from rumor has it, he taught Dame Judi Dench how to play D&D on the set of Chronicles of Riddick.
Yep.
Which we need the footage of.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be great.
I would watch a 6-hour movie of that.
What class would she be?
Uh,
that's probably written down somewhere. We could
Yeah.
look that up.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah. So Mandy.
I'm debating looking it up right now.
He
Anyway,
starts,
Mandy.
he starts going on his rampage. He's getting his revenge. He finds out who the people he's looking for,
Mhm.
and he gets a crossbow too. He has a crossbow with 3 arrows or 3
Bolts.
bolts. They're called bolts. I knew that. And he goes and exacts his revenge, trying to hunt down the mutant people who work with the cultists. They call him with like a flute or with an ocarina
Yeah.
type deal,
Basically summon them, what is implied from hell.
and they give him some blood.
Yeah, it's like some sort of like gelatinous jet fuel that they ingest and allows them to see through time.
Obviously.
Which Nicolas Cage does also take a little bite of.
Oh yeah, that was like that part made me jump a little bit.
Yeah.
That got me. But
Like one of those like rapid fire Requiem for a Dream montages where like the pupils dilate and like you see everything.
and then they sacrifice one of their own cult members to the people for payment, because they hire the cult members to kidnap Mandy,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes out his revenge on them first.
Mm-hmm.
Goes and finds them, and
And this is you're saying a lot of things there. So there's demon bikers.
yes,
And there's cult people.
yes.
Mhm.
And there's mutant.
No, those are the same.
The demon bikers and the
demon bikers.
mutants are the same people.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like demon people on ATVs with spikes, and they're really wet.
You really don't see their faces, so we're not sure if they're actually human.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what Bill Duke tells us in the movie, they took a really shitty or really crazy batch of LSD, and it kind of changed them.
Hmm.
But it is also the implication that they're demons from hell,
Right.
Take it as you
'Cause-
will, you know.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah.
because pulp.
No one says tomato.
It's true, no one does. So he first goes to find the demons,
Mm-hmm.
takes out his revenge with his fancy new axe that he loses in 2 minutes.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Like
is this a trope that happens a lot?
he gets it back.
Okay.
And but right off the bat, he does the whole like, I'm driving right at you because I just shot you with a crossbow bolt, and I'm driving, and then I hit you with my car, and then I go flipping.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm a captive now.
I can't stand the movies, the TV series, whatever, the comic books, where it's like there's the quest to get the thing. I need the thing to do the job to finish the quest. I make the thing or I adventure for the thing. And then like I get it, I do one thing and it's gone.
Yep.
I make one brave act with my weapon or my special new tool and then it's wasted. And it happens, I feel like it happens a lot. It's like you should have that for the entire run. It took so much work to get that thing. You should have it for hours.
Yeah.
Or
Many
years or however long your series of events are.
But then he wakes up with a nail through his hand. He's nailed to the floor and also handcuffed.
What's his pose?
He's like this because he's
Yeah, one
I'm
arm's-
posing,
one
by
arm's
the way.
cuffed up
Oh, okay.
upwards, and the other hand's like basically like nailed to a pipe.
So it's not a full-on crucifix.
No,
no.
They chose not to go there.
They just
not
did the
that far.
one nail through the palm,
Right.
through the back of the hand.
Mhm.
And he's in the biker people, and a whole lot of weird stuff happens. There's a guy with you're speaking of Seven.
Uh-huh.
You know, one of the sins where the guy has the suit with the blade,
the gimp suit.
the
Yeah.
gimp suit with the blade.
Yeah.
That.
Oh.
One of them's wearing one of those,
Okay.
and you see dead people in a bedroom with.
Wounds.
They probably used it on them.
Uh-huh.
Brutal. Just terrible.
Have we
demon
seen
spawn.
American Horror Story?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Lady Gaga's in that. Yes.
The hotel one. She's in the hotel one, and there's a gimp suit with a device.
Yep.
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 And that
Apparatus.
preys on people with addictions.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
And then we start to get like it starts to take a turn. It turned toward the badass part. he starts fighting.
Mhm.
He starts getting his revenge.
Mhm.
It's a little more my taste.
More revenge.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get it. Yeah, he's doing his thing. Does a lot of coke.
Quite a lot of coke.
In my probably my favorite scene of the movie, where he does the badass like Bruce Lee neck snap,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then just a mound of coke, and he dives into it, and it's pretty great.
Because he wakes up and like one of the demon bikers is pretty much like at a table that is overflowing with cocaine, like Smog the Dragon with gold, like that level. And he's not even like snorting; he's just kind of like gobbling it up, like some fantasy creature.
As
But
you
it's
do.
the LSD that messed him up. Yeah, okay.
Hey, I don't know that guy's backstory. And basically, like they're fighting in like a cloud of powder.
It's just in the air.
Yes.
It's like a fog of coke.
Eventually, this concludes with a massive chainsaw fight,
Yes.
I heard about this.
which also it's like a throwback, because the one thing that you know really about his past, or that like he's his profession, he's a logger.
Mm-hmm.
You see him the first shot you see him in, he's using a chainsaw to cut down a tree.
Lumberjawn.
Yeah.
It is implied that he is that he is an alcoholic too,
Really?
or a recovering alcoholic.
Okay. I missed that.
There's like one little detail where like someone's inviting him off to drinks. One of the other loggers is like, "Hey, let's go,
Mhm.
throw some back," and he just kind of walks away. I think that's
Doesn't
probably the
one of them
smallest amount
offer?
backstory.
Doesn't one of them offer in the chopper that they're in? Doesn't he offer him like a drink, and he
Yes.
just nonchalantly like nose it away?
Yeah,
Oh man.
which actually makes that drinking scene a bit more.
Yeah, it
tragic.
makes it a little more brutal.
He breaks his sober run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man.
yeah.
That's a shame.
But
But
chainsaw fight.
Yes. That's kind of like the chainsaw version of Crocodile Dundee, where it's like, "Oh, you have a chainsaw,"
That's not a chainsaw.
Yeah,
and he just takes out this like thing that's as tall as him.
because he finds the chainsaw. It's your standard chainsaw.
Yeah.
Everyday chainsaw. He's
Right.
trying to start it.
Mhm.
Other demon hellspawn guy sees him. He's like, "Oh, that's cute. You got that. Let me pick this up." And he picks up a giant, one of like the massive industrial,
Uh-huh.
like 10 feet long ones.
Like you see in competitions
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And they
with like a Rolls Royce engine on it.
exactly. Seriously, these things are diesel, and they duel with chainsaws.
Mhm.
And eventually, the other guy falls on the chainsaw
Yep.
and stomach first,
Mhm. Mhm.
and basically, like you get to see it all just kind of splatter around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very well
that's
done.
fun.
Very
Yeah.
well done.
It was
Gag.
nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a good thing. So he takes out the. I feel like we're just diving into a recap now, which is boring. But he takes out these cultists, and
Yeah. It's hard to like explain it plot wise because there's not a lot of plot.
He revenges.
Yeah. Everyone who wronged him gets
Mhm.
bad stuff happen to him.
Hmm.
And then eventually, like he takes down the cult leader
Mhm.
and drives away covered in blood.
yeah, yeah.
Does he have pants on yet, or is he still in his underwear?
No, he's got pants on.
He's got
Aw,
pants on.
man.
He even stole some armor from the demon spawn people.
Huh.
So he has like a nice vest now,
Okay.
and he takes out the cultists kind of one by one in very satisfying fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the one guy in the mouth, gets him right in the mouth
With
with the butt end of his axe, and
okay.
it's pretty great.
Uh-huh.
Very, very cool scene. Very satisfying to someone like me who was kind of unsure of what was happening. Because there were times in the movie where I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over.
Mhm.
This can end now, and I'd be cool with that.
Mhm.
But toward the end, it started to be more satisfying, I guess,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But
And there's a tiger.
yeah, there was a tiger, and then there was the guy making a lot of LSD who was also in Doom.
He was basically like got a tiger in a cage. He has this long monologue about I don't remember.
I don't mean either.
And he lets the tiger go.
Yeah.
Like symbolic or something.
Yeah. But it doesn't really like it feels like foreshadowing, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the tiger really doesn't.
The
factor
tiger
in
got
after
let
them.
go.
Yeah,
Doesn't he have a tiger on his T-shirt or some shit?
he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
In the
So
beginning.
so there's a metaphor there.
Yeah, there you go. It's the thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah,
But
so some of the thematics I'm just not quite there with yet.
he goes and finds the cultists, takes him out. He does a real nice head squeeze,
Yeah,
which is where it also starts to get into the, like, everything up until that, you could mostly kind of believe,
mm-hmm.
you know, with like cultists and murder and people who took really bad LSD and now think that they're demon spawn, but they also ride around on quads. You know, like it kind of, that could all, in theory, probably happen.
Yeah.
But then when you get to crushing someone's head with your bare hands, declaring that you are now their god with like a voice that is not your own, that part, I was like, okay, that probably couldn't happen.
It's
Well, I
very.
mean-
I'm sorry.
After you do enough coke, who knows what your own voice
True.
sounds like?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who knows how strong you can get with that adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm yawning.
That might. I have been too.
It was a not insignificant amount of coke.
It was
We
my
can't
favorite-
stress how much
it's my
coke there
favorite
was.
scene in the whole movie.
Like Colombia's GDP.
After he crushes, he does head crush.
Mhm.
All the villains have been taken care of and dealt with.
Yep.
Ken breaks his silence
Yeah.
in the movie
Yeah.
and just starts, because everyone else is laughing and shouting and wooing and yaying, yay, the villain's dead.
Uh-huh.
Ken's just sitting there with both hands up, you know, straight in the air, declaring, "What?" Like question mark over and what just happened? Because it's one of those.
I can see that.
It's like, wait, like I said, everything up until then, in theory, maybe sort of could have happened
Mm-hmm.
in a way, but I mean, it may have been the ending that a movie like that needed.
Yeah. It's not a movie that's afraid of breaking with reality a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does have visions of Mandy, like whenever he gets knocked out, that are these very psychedelic 2D animations.
Oh yeah, like heavy metal,
Yes.
like
yeah, very
straight
much
out
in
of a
that
heavy
style.
metal magazine.
Right.
Yeah. And those aren't really explained either. I mean,
Mhm.
they're just visions or dreams.
She
or...
reaches into an animal and pulls out a gem and holds it up, and that's the end of it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
but it's living on the razor's edge of reality,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and it's not afraid of falling either way.
Hmm.
That's my best guess.
What makes this movie so good for you? To put it in a very general question, explain yourself.
Well, when I was 6 and I went off to boarding school.
You see, I actually know about movies.
What I like about this is, you had referred to something I posted the other day. Like, Nicolas Cage is very unique among actors, especially in the US, in that he's very willing to switch styles or go to levels that you really don't see from anyone else. And it's not just like going over the top. Like there are different like methods of acting that have existed in film throughout the decades.
Mhm.
Like at first there was this, silent cinema where you have to express everything with your face, so you're a little bit over the top,
Right.
more theatrical. Then there's, after sound came in, it's kind of like in this transitional period.
The talkies.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit more broad.
Mm-hmm.
It has like that kind of theatricality. It's larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
Then after like Marlon Brando came on the scene, like everything was more naturalistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like people acted like people acted in real life, and that's kind of been the standard since.
Mm-hmm.
More
except for
or less.
Nicolas Cage.
Except for Nicolas Cage, who somehow does all of those at the same time, and he can like switch on a dime. And not only like it's rare to have actors like that, period, who are brave enough to take that risk. It's rare still to have filmmakers who will match that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mandy's probably one of the first movies I can think of that is willing to go exactly where Cage can go.
Okay.
Tonally, in terms of content, so and so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just very unique. I enjoy seeing that.
It made me nice.
Yeah.
Made me feel the nice.
It made me have happy feelings.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's very rare.
Right.
And the movie has a very unique tone too, which really isn't seen like in Hollywood or even in the indie scene that much.
Yeah.
Where it has like that heavy metal aesthetic, but it's also got that hypnotic art house kind of vibe too. And that mashup is just something that I fucking loved. You don't see that very often.
Right. Well, this guy hasn't made very much stuff.
No, this would be the second movie he's done.
Yeah.
Panos Cosmatos.
Okay.
Think I'm pronouncing that right?
Yeah, that seems about right.
He's the son of
Cosmatos.
Cosmatos?
Cosmatos is, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm probably
No, you
butchering
got it right the first time.
The son of the guy who directed Tombstone, which is a great movie too.
Oh, that was his dad?
Yeah.
So he's also credited for Tombstone as...
Camera and electrical.
No kidding. Huh.
Video assistant operator, second unit. See, he was on the second unit.
You know, I wonder how he got that job.
And his first movie was Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Yes.
And that's from 2010.
That is a very similar style. It's not as heavy metal. It sounds like a backhand compliment, but it's not like as riveting as Mandy. It's more of like 2001 on acid.
Okay.
Like
that makes sense.
Like a very psychedelic science fiction movie. It's very like, I don't want to say slow, but it's very like deliberately paced. And Mandy is that too, but it also has that like break in the middle where it's much more action packed. And yeah, that cannot wait to see what this guy does next, because he definitely has a style.
Budget says it was $6 million.
Seems about right.
121 minutes runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just going through the 2.35 to 1 aspect ratio.
One of the things that I looked up was that it's also a Legion M movie.
Yes.
And I saw some stuff about Legion M like a year ago. And I tried looking into it, couldn't really figure it out, left it alone. And when I saw it was involved with this movie, I was like, oh, I'm sure Jared will know about this.
And I did not.
Yeah, we spent like a half hour trying to figure out what exactly.
So the fact that we were going to talk about the movie, and then I was like, well, it's an interesting concept for funding and producing and making money to make movies and being a fan of things and having your own ownership of something and being able to invest in stuff. And we don't have any answers for you. If you're listening to us wondering like, oh, tell me more about Legion M. I can't. I don't know. I legit tried looking into how they fund things or what it would be to be an investor or what the return is. And so far all I've gotten is like, you get to be a fan that's a more involved fan than the people who just buy a ticket.
It is very vague about the specifics.
Yeah.
IMDb says it's the first fan-owned entertainment company, Legion M, helped co-produce the film and the soundtrack.
And see, that can be interpreted in so many ways.
Fan-owned entertainment company, Legion M. Yeah. So that's how IMDb puts it, at least. A fan-owned entertainment company.
But there's two main guys.
How does that even exist?
These two guys, they kind of basically kickstarted their company, but without using a Kickstarter.
Right.
They got people to invest in, like, we're a part of Hollywood. We want to make stuff. Give us money and you can make stuff with us. And they have a couple projects. One of them is the pitch elevator, which they're making into, amongst trying to find its like financial information, the pitch elevator, I couldn't tell if it was going to be like a short series or a movie. But at one of the Comic-Cons, at Stanley's Comic-Con, people could show up and like pitch their ideas for movies and TVs.
Yeah.
And episodes and whatnot. And they were going to like narrow down the good ones and try and put that into a documentary. And then maybe actually take a couple of those ideas to make into stuff.
See, I'm always skeptical about like public pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems like such a legal mess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Even like there's been comic book writers who will read a fan letter and then forget that they read this fan letter, and then 6 years later they'll write their Superman story and it's the fan letter they read.
And that letter is just like lodged in their head.
It's somewhere in there and
Yeah.
they don't remember it being in print, and they just think they came up with a story until that fan gets back to them and they go, "Hey, so you used my story, huh?"
Right.
And they go, "Oh shit." So like, so lots of people who like don't take pitches, they don't read fan mail. That's fanfic. So like creators will have to alienate themselves from other creators or other like creations so that they can try and like not have this issue where they take someone else's story or someone else's work.
Right.
And it's a really tough road to travel. But yeah, legally, willingly telling people your idea for a thing, then going, now you let me make it, or you pay me money for this idea, and hope that it just doesn't appear on screen
In some other fashion.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone overheard it, and because like it's not like copyrighted.
And also realize like you might get hideously mocked for your idea too,
That too.
in case it's bad.
Yeah, and you don't want that on your public resume. No.
I was about to reference a few things, but I'm not gonna. So it looks like Legion M is a neat idea. I wish I could tell you more about it. I've tried to look up if any reviews say it's a scam, if any reviews say they love being a part of it, and
Well, it's clearly like in operation because there are two movies that.
Oh yeah, there's other things they have going. How do I want to find those? They have
you can buy Mandy merchandise.
You can see the movie.
You've got your where do you go? There it is. David Tennant is going to be in Bad Samaritan.
Right.
That's coming out soon, I believe. It was also slated for this year.
So it is a functional production company.
Yeah.
It's just
I'm just not following what I get back from it. If I were to, and like how much do I have to invest?
Right.
I didn't see any numbers as far as like what I would pay into it to help make these things in Hollywood.
I mean, that's film finance in general. Like they're not gonna put that on their website. Like you'd have to go to them.
So is it like $8.99 a month, or do I just write a check for $1,000, or what's the deal?
Yes.
What do I get back from it? It's like, well, you can't. You're not getting shares or stocks, so you don't get to sell anything back and make your money back. We're gonna keep making more stuff with what we make off of Mandy. So,
Which
like maybe we'll let you in on a Skype chat with David Tennant someday.
yeah,
And it's like,
Maybe.
oh, that's it's like a lot of it's kind of unclear.
because
I mean, like the owners have done a few interviews, and they so far they've seemed kind of softball. I haven't seen anyone really grill them.
yeah,
But we have, as I said, it's a half-hour research for you.
because
So.
Hey,
you can form a company just to fund one specific movie,
Mhm.
or you can start a production company and people can invest in that specifically,
Yeah.
which is more common in like television. But honestly, like I think the rule in Hollywood is however the fuck you can get the money
Yeah.
into the bank so they can
just make the
finance it.
damn movie.
Yeah.
One of the comments is like, times change, interests change. We're just gonna make what we think is gonna sell.
Yeah, as long as you don't kill anybody, and if you do kill somebody, like make it look like an accident.
Obviously.
Get the movie made.
Like when you hear about movies that go on to win 18 awards, 18,000 best pictures, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Oh, it was in developmental hell for 13 years. Like, what would have happened if this movie was made 13 years ago? Like, what kind of movie would it have been? Would it have
Oh,
just been,
true.
Been
Yeah,
garbage? Was it for the best that it was in hell for so long? It was tortured into being a beautiful.
There are so many factors that can affect that. Like sometimes, like a studio will switch CEOs and one will get skittish and just kind of like shelve it for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes like it's just getting the right talent in place. You get a director but not the right actor. You get both, but the schedules are bad. Or some people just want to wait. Like, have you guys seen Unforgiven?
Clint Eastwood?
Yes.
They just added it to Netflix. I've been thinking about watching it. I hear it's very good.
You should. It's probably his
It
best
won
film.
like all the awards that year.
Yeah, swept the Oscars. But someone wrote that in the late 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
And we got it in the 90s.
Clint Eastwood bought the script and he waited until he was old enough to play the part. So he just kept buying
That's
the rights.
badass.
Like, he just kept buying the rights to the script. And you're like, fuck makeup. I'm just gonna get old.
I'm gonna be really good for this in a couple years.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna talk to a chair. Remember that? Do you guys remember that when he talked to the chair?
Do we have to?
Yeah. I like to think about that.
The guys from Super Troopers 2 were completely different track. They were talking about how they went to their crowdfunding to help get money for it. And like they did get some money, but like if they went studio only, because like they had the option, but the studio was like, yeah, but we'll do it, but we don't want you guys in it. We want like Ben Affleck in it instead. So if we can put real stars in the movie, we'll fund it, but we don't care who's it, Broken Lizard, those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we don't really want you involved. And it's like, but we're Broken Lizard. It's a Broken Lizard movie. We're Super Troopers. And so that's why they went towards crowdfunding. So
Right.
they can still be in their own property.
We talked about that all those years ago.
Yeah.
When like I shit on Zach Braff, but I was cool with Super Troopers being crowdfunded. The definition of hypocrisy.
And I liked it when it came out.
Yeah.
There was the Happy Time Murders too. You guys know about that one?
Was that crowdfunded?
The not crowdfunded, but that was a movie that had been like set to go for maybe like 10 years.
Oh, really?
Like they had done the concept art, they'd done the script, they pretty much set to go with.
God, can you imagine making
like cast?
Make like 50 puppets and then just sit in a warehouse for 10 years?
What movie is this?
The Happy Time Murders.
The puppet thing.
Oh, that just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for whatever reason or another, they just weren't. The studio just wasn't willing to take the risk for it. It's like, okay, puppets, but they cuss. We're not gonna do that.
Let's make the Emoji Movie first.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But then, Sausage Party made a ton of money.
Did it?
It did.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's very profitable.
Oh.
And they said, "Oh, okay, so I guess people want to see raunchy kid stuff." So then they gave it the green light with a full budget. So sometimes it's just like a matter of perception, I guess.
But like, I could respect
Timing.
Happy Time Murders more than Sausage Party.
Yeah. But
I learned something about Alex today.
I was very strict at my niece, and I was like, "You will not see the Emoji Movie." And she's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "I won't allow it." And she wasn't quite understanding, and I was like, "There are movies that are works of art. Someone slaves away for years developing a script with characters and plots and using words to imagine scenes, and then this has to pass on to someone else who decides, I will make this thing and I will make it real, and then I have to carry it around like a child, like an egg they have to raise, and people will be cast into that, and a person will have to change their life and become a new person to fit this script and be this character."
That was not one of those movies.
And people achingly, like, they make costumes out of nothing. They have to make period correct costumes that fit characters, that fit expressions, that are correct for the right people, for what's going on. Sets get built or painted. There's construction involved in building a thing so that the scene that's involved is correct and looks beautiful, or looks scary, or looks dirty. And someone makes music and makes sound that elicits emotions from you, and the performance is there to elicit emotion from you.
It elicits what?
Emotions.
Emojis?
And then we have someone goes, "Hey, let's just do a movie with a smiley face.
Kids like those things, right?
And we'll put the poop.
It's
Who put the poop in the movie? It's,
$50 million. Get Patrick Stewart.
it's a rocket ship and a toes, right? It's just emojis. That's popular now. And then like some poor actor, who their agent goes, look, you're gonna take the part because I need this 10%, and you have to pay me my 10%. So just take the damn part. And the actor's like, I've got nothing else doing for the next 2 weeks. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm in this movie now.
We really don't need to feel bad for T.J. Miller, though. I'm just gonna say that.
And at least, which one was it? Peel?
Jordan Peele, yeah.
He got offered the part.
He got offered the part.
And he's like, I quit acting. I'm going to be a director now.
Honestly, it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with that. If the fact that the Emoji Movie gave us Get Out.
Gave us Get Out, and it's getting us a new Twilight Zone series.
Maybe
there was a point to it all.
What could an Emoji Movie 2 get us?
I don't know, new Star Trek? Maybe.
Huh.
Well,
But
didn't someone just drop out of Star Trek? Is Chris Pine no longer doing Star Trek movies?
I think that's his agent's playing hardball or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I get that. My agent does that sometimes.
I don't have any.
What's so funny? So,
yes, but yeah, if you just, I think Guillermo del Toro said it best. Like, the natural state of a movie is to not be made, and he more than anyone understands that, because
something extraordinary has to happen for it to get made.
Yeah. And even extraordinary things can happen and they still won't get made, because that's what happened with Mountains of Madness.
I just gave him a confused look, by the way.
Oh, sorry. What happened was, like, he got a script,
mm-hmm.
he got a budget,
mm-hmm.
he got James Cameron producing.
Okay.
He got...
Those are all good things.
This is all right on track.
He got Tom Cruise to star in it.
Very good things.
All these things mean...
This is automatic success right here.
Mean green light.
Yeah.
But what happened was, unfortunately, this was around the time that Scott Pilgrim vs. the World came out.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a movie that was very much associated with it, because it's huge with the Comic-Con crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of a niche,
mm-hmm.
but with a more of an established director.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit offbeat.
Yeah.
That had been hyped for a long time that it was going to be like the next big thing.
Uh-huh.
It's going to just like blow out the box office. Because the word from Comic-Con was over the roof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then it came out. Didn't
Scott
do that
Pilgrim
great.
didn't do great in the theaters.
Did not make a profit.
It's a cult hit.
God, that movie is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, people love it, but unfortunately,
it didn't make money.
A lot of people saw it, but not legally.
Right.
Oh.
And when the studios saw those numbers, they saw the numbers it made with actual money and the numbers it made through piracy,
mm-hmm.
and they made the assumption that Mountains of Madness will not work this way. People will see it, but it's not going to make money.
Right.
We can't have a $200 million R-rated movie with no
projected,
no romantic
profit.
leads,
Oh.
and bleak tone, and not a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason they pulled the plug. Like 2 weeks before they're going to start production.
Oh.
So worlds can be turned on very like fickle judgments.
So like when I tell friends that they should spend money on good movies, they should go ahead and do that.
Because you're investing in more good movies.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I still do it though.
One could argue that you should also spend money on the Emoji Movie, though.
Those people would be very wrong.
Because, well, without that, we wouldn't have gotten Get Out. Didn't you guys just say that?
Yeah, but the movie got made. It's not how much money it made. It's the insult of the prospect of the movie is how we got Get Out.
I think I brought this up last time we talked about the Emoji Movie, but Jack's Films on YouTube. I think it's still Jack's Films. He's a very funny man on YouTube. He does videos. Mm-hmm. He's the one who goes back and forth with Jenna Marbles. Yeah. He did this thing where like he couldn't stop talking about the Emoji Movie. Like he related everything to the Emoji Movie.
Oh right, they invited him to the
and
premiere.
then they invited him to the premiere, and he went to the premiere, and like it was like, I'm taking this seriously, but I'm really being. It's all sarcasm. It's all jest. But
right.
like it sort of seems. And like he went to the Emoji Movie and he vlogged it, and it was all really depressing, but very funny. He's a funny guy. I dig his stuff, and he was all about the Emoji Movie. He's the one who dabs when he says friendship. Friendship. But yeah, Emoji Movie. So Mandy, it was a movie.
It was a movie.
If it has, I mean, it's been completely spoiled for you. If you saw it and you liked it, if you didn't like it, whatever, let us know. Tell us why.
It's not a movie you can really spoil. Like, we said what happens, but it's something you gotta see.
You really got to see him forge that axe, right?
Right.
Yeah, you got to see him just pound that cocaine into his face.
Like, I can describe an ice cream cone very well, but that's not the same thing as,
Right.
as eating an ice cream cone.
Oh, you're right.
Like,
I really want ice cream now.
You gotta taste it.
You know, we didn't talk about the goblin at all.
We did not talk about the cheddar.
We did
goblin.
not touch on the cheddar goblin. We'll save that for, go see the movie. You'll see the cheddar goblin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you guys had a lot like you wanted to say about it.
You need to experience that for yourself.
Yeah.
Listeners.
Yeah.
So is it because like clips will exist online?
Mm-hmm.
Should they avoid the clip of the cheddar goblin scene by itself because they should take in the entire movie?
I
would
believe
that
so.
would that entice them to
yeah.
see the whole thing?
The point at which it happens in the movie is completely inappropriate.
Which is entirely the point. And you want to have that kind of cognitive dissonance of seeing that in that context, not knowing that it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Just to experience that for yourself.
One of the reviewers was talking about like it's like watching your dog get hit by a car and then immediately hearing Walking on Sunshine playing.
Oh man, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out Mandy at your local cinema if it's playing. You can. I don't know if Amherst is still playing it. I'm not sure how they do
I think
their
they're going to
rotation.
show it tonight or tomorrow.
Tonight or tomorrow.
believe
Go
so.
check it out tonight or yesterday if you're listening to this the day it came out. But
it should be on DVD soon. But if you have the chance to see it in the theater, please do.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful experience.
take it from Jared. He's the one who actually knows movies.
Yeah.
He's made them.
I have.
He's made the movie. Skolnickfilms.com.
I've made a couple, and Alex has acted in one
I've
of them.
helped. My the number of times I've done makeup for you, but the acting is the one you point out.
That's the one.
It is memorable. You gotta admit.
That's some of the best acting I've done in my life. Because I had to pretend he was my best friend.
Oof.
And
That's
and
harsh.
we're not.
Oh God, we should probably.
We're not friends.
All right, Jared. Thank you so much for coming on.
Glad to be
It
on.
was
Thanks for
really
having me.
2 weeks in a row. That's Jared's limit for me, but
Yeah.
I have no limit for Jared. Bob, we're thinking of you. Miss you, man.
It's true.
Miss you, man. He's busy on vacation, doing Bob stuff. But hopefully we'll get when Bob and Jared come on, it's the happiest. So we're gonna need to make that magic.
I
happen.
have to resist just making the entire episode be a best of clip. It's tough.
It's like legit. But yeah, go check out Mandy. Go check out Jared's films. Skolnickfilms.com. Did I get that right?
Skolnickfilms.com.
Nailed it. Follow him on the Twitters. I follow Jared on the Twitter, and pretty much everything he does, I either like or retweet. So that tells you right there that it's prime time.
It is not reciprocated.
It's not. I don't blame him. I tweet stupid shit.
You know,
But,
Jared's got a head on his shoulders.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I just tweet about the Yankees and football. So
Two things I know nothing about.
I envy you. All right, that's gonna do it. Mandy was a fun movie. It was something. And adjectives about a movie. So until next time, I've been JR.
I'm Alex.
All hail the Cheddar Goblin.
And this has been episode 340 of Opinions May Vary.